So nice for you to join us virtually, of course.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thank you so much. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us and talk about this year's football season and what's tailgating and what's that mean?
Yeah, sure. So good morning. Hi, my name is Doug Hall. I'm the marketing director for Rayburn Sandwiches. This year is definitely going to be an interesting year from a football season standpoint. Tailgating is a really large part of celebrating one of America's favorite sports, but it's definitely going to look different this year. So there's some really cool things you can do to create a cool experience. Think about taking the game outside, decorating the backyard, and then feed your guests with some easy to prepare, delicious snacks.
I mean, that sounds pretty awesome to me. Speaking of that, last night, everybody was trying to do a similar thing. I mean, first football game of the season, Chiefs took it all the way, but, it was definitely it was raining over here in New York, so everybody was just trying to, figure out a way to, hide the TV screens and still have fun outside.
Right. Well, there's some interesting statistics related to tailgating, and now the big term right now is homegating. So there's an estimated 50 million Americans who tailgate every year and about 30% of them never actually go to a game. So there's this huge group of people that really enjoy tailgating and really enjoy homegating. The average fan consumes about 2,600 calories while tailgating. It's a lot of calories, isn't it?
Every Sunday or Thursday to just consume all that.
Those are your binge days, I guess.
Yep.
42% of tailgaters and homegaters spend over $500 a season on food and supplies. So you think about how much money people are spending to really make this something fun for them, their families, their friends. Do you know what the top 5 most purchased items are for tailgating?
Beer, and alcohol.
Well, that's definitely one of them. So
hot dogs.
Coolers are one, grills are another one, alcohol, you nailed it, furniture and meat. So that's the biggest spend that people really have when they think about tailgating and homegating, making sure you've got that grill out back. Alcohol is definitely a big one to keep things exciting and fun.
Now, how are you guys going to measure these results?
In terms of the items that are purchased?
Yes.
Well, so what we do is we actually measure the sandwiches that we sell. And game day is a big season for us. So we track consumption. You can find our sandwiches at a variety of different stores, including Sam's. Rayberns is really known for our bakery soft bread. Pop them in the microwave. They're really perfect for game day. You can chop them in half and they make for real quick snacks, especially if you haven't had a lot of time to plan. But we track every week how many sandwiches are sold. We make multi-millions of sandwiches a year. All of them are handmade. We make our own meat, make our own bread. So that's the way we really track success during these crazy times.
And what would you say, how would homegating be a successful night of football in the end of the night?
I think if everybody's had a good time, if people have had emotions up, emotions down, it was a good game, people leave fed. We don't want people to leave hungry. That to me is a successful night.
Now, could you discuss some of your specialties? What's your to-go?
My to-go for sure is the Philly cheesesteak. We're the #1 selling Philly cheesesteak in the United States. It's got thinly sliced seasoned beef, melted American cheese, and that bakery soft bread, which is really great out of the microwave. #2, I would say, is our roast beef and cheddar melt. It is absolutely fantastic. It's got cheddar cheese and cheddar sauce on it. Really good roast beef. So those are my go-tos for sure.
So are you saying I need to order a Philly cheesesteak the next time this Sunday?
Absolutely. They're really good. I think you'll be impressed with us.
Now, can you tell us how Rayburn came up as where did it come from?
Sure. Over 30 years ago, there were 2 guys named Ray and Bernie, and they envisioned sharing their love of New York deli-style sandwiches with the world. It took years for them to fully develop the Rayberns bread recipe that really cooks up bakery soft right from the microwave. They also spent a lot of time developing the signature recipes for our Philly cheesesteak and our pastrami recipes. And it's interesting. So today, Rayberns is proud to make millions of sandwiches a year. And again, the Philly cheesesteak is the #1 selling in the United States. So it's kind of our claim to fame, and it's a big deal for us.
Now, what would you say is the best way for you guys to promote your brand?
there's a couple of different ways. First of all, you can find us at a couple of different stores in the area. We're at ShopRite, we're at Acme, Village Fairway, Stop and Shop, and Sam's. Just to mention a few, you can go to rayberns.com, and it's got a ton of information about our brands, what we do, what sandwiches are available. You can also follow us on Facebook at Rayberns and Instagram at Rayberns Sandwiches. And we also just kicked off Twitter, which is at Rayberns Tweets.
That's so awesome. I mean, you know, nowadays with all this crazy stuff going on in the world, everyone is truly missing out on that aspect. I know when I was working with the Jets, I would come to the game, and if it was like 2 hours before the game or even 3 hours before the game, I would be sitting in traffic just to get into the parking lot.
Right.
You can't even find a spot. You can't even find a spot because the barbecues have a spot. So
yeah.
It's just crazy how, you know, now we have to switch it from being in the parking lots at the stadium and now Homegating, like you said. And it's brilliant that you came up with that name. And, you know, I'm sure it attracts a lot of people because, you know, what's better than just watching it on a flat screen in your TV in your house and just relaxing with family with some good food.
Yeah, exactly. Have some good friends over. Make sure they're in your safety bubble. Have some good friends over. Have some good food. Pop some Rayburn sandwiches in the microwave. Have some booze, and make it a fun day.
Now, what would you say is like the main clientele, like, you know, that you guys are usually directed towards? Is it just like football fans, or is there any other type of, like, you know?
Well, we love our sports fanatics for sure. So basketball season tends to be a big one for us. This year was a little weird. Football is a big season for us. So we're definitely going after anybody who loves to watch sports. I would also say convenience seekers. So anybody who's on the run. I think about grabbing a sandwich when I'm in my car on my way to work. Or if I need to take a quick break at work, it's quick. It's, you know, 60 to 90 seconds in the microwave. There's no cleanup. There's no mess. I'm not a big cooker, so I don't like all of that, but I do like popping them in the microwave and making it easy. So anybody who's looking for something easy, quick, and delicious, Rayberns is the brand.
Rayberns is the brand, guys. You hear that? Go on, head over to their Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Check it out. You know, all social media platforms, and you can check it out in your local stores. And, you know, about Rayburn also, what is something that you guys what's unique about the brand that separates you from anybody else? What's one thing you could say?
It is our bread. Bakery soft bread out of the microwave for sure.
So that's another thing, another fun fact for Rayburn. Check out their bread, soft, and you don't even have to do much to it. It doesn't have to go in the oven. You just slide it in the microwave and it'll be done quick. Awesome. So another thing with Homegating and watching football, what would you say, you know, the kids, what is their go-to?
You know, we've got a line of breakfast sandwiches that are also really good to pull out. So you can kick off the idea of, you know, breakfast for lunch or dinner, and the kids really get excited about it. You can also have them make the sandwiches themselves. That's another great thing about it. Yeah, you're just popping these in the microwave, right? So it's real easy for the kids to do. So they can help with the prep as you start to pull together the food for the team, the group that's coming over. Have them warm up the sandwiches, have them open them up. You can have them cut them, teach them how to use a knife. So you can definitely get the kids involved with this as well.
That's awesome. So this Sunday, what's your Homegating meal?
Rayberns, of course, but I'll say I like, I'm a real big fan of like dips, anything dips in dip, and that's how I get my 2,600 calories. Definitely a binge day for me.
I love that.
What about you?
I would say definitely a chips and salsa or chips and guac gal over here, but those Philly cheesesteaks, I don't have them often. But when I do have them, I make sure, like, the bread, like you said, is super soft. I look for that.
I eat them a lot more than I should, but they're perfect for if you're looking for something quick and easy and convenient. You can have them at home. You can have them in the office if you're going into the office. They're a great snack or a great meal replacement.
What do you say for Homegating? Like, where's the best part? Like, what is the best part about Homegating?
Well, I love getting people together. And again, right now things are a little weird, so I'm limited on who I have over. But, if I've got folks in my safety bubble and I bring them in, I like just hanging out and chatting. Watching the game is great, but there's a whole lot of other dynamics that are happening when you have people over, right? Some people like the game, some people don't. Some people really get into the food. Some people like the
just
social
excited
aspects.
for the food.
Yeah, well, I do. I get really excited for the food. I'm really curious.
I don't know what's going on. It's on some food. What is the score of the game? I'll just score.
But that's what makes it fun. You've got so many different dynamics that are taking place. One of the recommendations I have is when you are setting up the food, keep the food separate from the TV, right? So if you've got the dining room, maybe that's where the food is. That way people can gather and conversate without distracting the folks that really want to watch the game.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, when I walked into a Super Bowl party last year, everyone went straight to the food. And then you see the three guys sitting on the couch just glued, have their spot. You can't even take a seat over there because they're glued to the seat.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. So I think we have everything about, you could find Rayberns at ShopRite, Village Fairway, Super Stop and Shop, Sam's Club, Food Town, Manic ShopRite, and you can also go to their website at rayburn.com. Follow Rayburn on Facebook at Rayberns, Instagram at Rayburns Sandwiches, and Twitter at Rayburns Tweets. So everyone, go check them out. And the next football game or sporting event, or even in general, if you're just hungry and you're having people over that you've been quarantining with and you feel comfortable with, order some sandwiches and some food. Thank you so much for talking about this. This is amazing. It's a great idea, and I'm super excited to now order my food.
Awesome. That's what I'm here for. Try the cheesesteak. It's awesome.
Yep, and then I'm going to tell my little brothers to make their own sandwiches because they're super picky with stuff. So I'll be like, you know what, guys, we'll order you the soft bread, and then you can do whatever you want from there.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.